recent actions by the Trump administration has revealed what America maybe hasn't admitted for a long time, that it is really concerned by China's rise and perhaps considers it a threat to its global dominance?
Thank you very much for having me. First of all, China's rise is inevitable. No one can stop it. The United States cannot stop it. That's the mega trend. Secondly, this trade war launched by President Trump and his government against the whole world, including China, is the wrong war. And it's not constructive. It throws all the rules of the game out of the window. It damages the free trade. And while different countries need to come up with strategies, how do they want to deal with the United States in this manhandling of mankind, China has decided to rise up to the occasion and strongly defend the free trade. China will fight to the end, as the government has declared, and China has now imposed the retaliatory tariff up to 125% against all U.S. exports to China. Now, if things are not handled well, this means complete stop of China-U.S. trade, both ways. No goods exported from the United States to China, and complete stop of everything made in China to the United States. This is decoupling. If the United States wants to really welcome this, China will reciprocate.
They all thought that China was going to sit back and just let the U.S. roll over them, a 5,000-year-old civilization, a country that has taken 700 million people out of poverty. You thought that they were going to roll over? You Americans and you MAGA, what you're suffering from is a white prejudice in your head. And you all think that you're better than everybody. In the meantime, over the 40 years, all of these people who get on TV and blame China, that China took all the jobs, no, China did not take the jobs. The corporation sent them there. And in the 40 years, both countries benefited, but one country built, the other one destroyed. Who is the one that destroyed? Oh, it was America. We spent $1.2 trillion on a war in Iraq that should never have happened. We allowed the banking people to destroy our housing market. We put people in poverty. We give tax breaks to the millionaires, and then we want to blame it all on China. Yeah, we want to blame it all on China. No, blame it on your nasty, disgusting politicians that you vote for and put in Congress. That's who you need to blame it on. There is no reason in a 40-year relationship that one side of the relationship, they are able to take 700 million people out of poverty, while the other side of the relationship has had nothing but destruction and a collapse of society. Because what we have now in the West is a collapse of society. All we have are disaffected, white, angry men who they believe they are owed something. You're owed not a fucking thing. You come into the world on your own. Even if you're a twin, you come in one by one. And you are responsible when you grow up to become something. Nobody owes you anything. But you all been so accustomed to getting everything to you on a silver platter that you forgot what hard work is. Fuck off. I hope that guy that's on here and you guys keep stitching him about how he's going to lose everything. Yes. Lose it all. Because you are the type of person who want to see other people suffer, but you don't want to suffer. So fuck off.
Donald Trump is now begging Xi Jinping for a phone call, and Xi refuses to pick up the phone. Basically, in behind-the-scenes talks, the Trump administration warned Beijing not to retaliate against Donald Trump tariffs and instead urged Xi Jinping to pick up the phone and give Donald Trump a call. Basically, they wanted Xi Jinping to beg and grovel and kiss the ring. But China isn't Vietnam or some small country, so Xi totally ignored Trump's request for a call and instead slapped an additional 125% tariffs on US goods coming into China. And the Americans have more reasons to panic because reporting that came out today is saying that China and the Europeans have begun negotiations between themselves without the United States in order to lower Chinese EV vehicle tariffs coming into the European market. And Xi Jinping knows exactly what buttons to push to really pressure Donald Trump, and now he's dangling China's $520 billion ETF market to Wall Street, saying American finance companies in Wall Street will not be allowed in as long as Trump's monstrous tariffs are still in place. So Donnie will be getting a lot of angry phone calls from Wall Street right about now.
Is going to lose it when he sees that China outmaneuvered him again in his own trade war, this time with Vietnam. Now, Donald Trump has been touting Vietnam as one of the first countries that was willing to come to the table to renegotiate its tariffs and to create a new trade deal. But China swooped in over the weekend and got to Vietnam first, signing over a dozen new trade deals that include supply chain cooperation and railway cooperation. And this is not the first time China has done this. China also canceled a gas contract with the United States and with Australia. There's been soybeans that they've gone to South America for. They've got a meeting coming up with the EU to discuss tariffs on electric vehicles. Donald Trump has turned the entire world against us and is being outmaneuvered every day in his own trade war because he has no plan. His only plan was to get the countries that come to him, say they're sorry, and beg for a new trade deal. He thought he had one with Vietnam, but now that's gone. At least he wasn't there first. They may still come, but the countries aren't lining up the way they thought. They're only turning their backs. Donald Trump is going to lose it when he...
America, this trade war is not a win-win. People are going to suffer, and the people who are going to suffer are the common citizen, people who are depending on that paycheck, people who are having their 9-to-5 jobs, people who are basically from the middle class up to the lower class, and also those people who are homeless. Those are the people who are going to suffer. The people who are going to benefit are the rich in America. That is the millionaires and the billionaires. They can afford. When they're being told, oh, you need to pay some extra dollars, they would be able to afford it. But the person who's living on a budget, you know, even if you tell him or her you need to add like $1 or $2, it will be like as if now you have destroyed their whole budget for the whole month. It's like as if you tell them, you know, you have to choose between two things, either to be able to afford electricity bill, or maybe to afford grocery, or to decide whether to forgo one and to take on one of the things in her budget or his budget. That is the reality of how people are living. And this trade war is what's going to hurt so many Americans. The middle class, the lower class, and of course the homeless people. Those are the people who are going to suffer. Now, we are looking at China. You're looking at China and you're seeing how far they have advanced, how developed they are doing. Their people, they've come out of poverty, and literally all Chinese right now, they're living a good life. Even the ones who are living in the rural areas, if you look at their lifestyle, it's very, very high as compared to other rural areas in the world. If you want to find out, just go on Red Note app. You'll see how they're living, and you'll realize the people in the rural Chinese, they're living a better life than other rural parts in the world. And that is the reality. Why? How did it come about? Because for the last 40, 50 years, 60 years, or even 100 years down the line, when China was going through the humiliation stage, when they decided, you know what, let's close up our country and we look inwards and find ways on how we can develop ourselves. That is the time the leaders of China decided, you know what, we are going to come up with a 100-year-old strategy, how we can develop ourselves, how we can remove our people from poverty, how we are going to be self-sufficient in agriculture, technology-wise, how we are going to advance ourselves. And basically that's what they have done. They have sacrificed. They have this belief that, you know, you have to sacrifice today for the betterment of tomorrow. We have to suffer today so that our people can succeed tomorrow. That is what they believe in, and that is basically what is assisting, is helping them to be successful, as you can see today. What has America done for the last 50 years, 100 years down the line? Or should I say for the last 50 years, what has America been doing? Trillions and trillions of dollars have been poured in, you know, for to build, you know, weapons, or to control the whole world in terms of weapon, in terms of war, in terms of, manipulating government, you know, to do their bidding. That is basically what has been happening. Instead of pouring that money into the American economy and develop it and take care of its own people, that's basically what has been happening down the line. And now these are the results. You are looking around, you're looking at China, you're like, oh my God, how did they become advanced so fast? How did they become so developed? And then you turn around and look at America and you're wondering what's happening. And then you look at the big corporations in America right now. They are busy producing their products in China, and they're still getting budget cuts. Yes, they're getting budget cuts from the government, a lot of that. They're not paying taxes. And now you turn around and you start complaining and say, oh, what is happening in my country? Or you start looking at China and look at China as the enemy. China is not the enemy. China is focusing on her people. So America needs to focus on her people. And that is the reality of what is happening right now. Big corporations in America, they need to pay taxes. Big corporations in America, they need to pay wages that are going to help the common citizen to be able to live a life of, you know, paying your bills, and also be able to save so that you can take care of yourself and develop in your life. Insurance in America needs to be affordable so that people can be able to afford the medicine, the surgeries that are involved, so that a common citizen be able to, you know, to afford insurance, to be able to go to the hospital, to get the necessary medicine, to get the necessary, you know, health care that can help them, you know, to recover, so that they can become good member of society, to be able to produce and to be able to develop the country. That's basically what is need to be done right now. The reality is, countries right now in the whole world, they're trying to protect their own people. They are no longer looking at this other country is doing this, or that other country is doing that. No, everybody is focusing on taking care of their own citizens, so that their citizens, they can be healthy, they can grow technology wise, they can become developed as a country, and a whole country thrive, both in terms of development, both in terms of health wise, both in terms of, you know, happiness, because families are happy, they're able to take care of themselves and all that stuff. Like if you look at, for example, China, what they are doing. So this trade war, who's going to be the winner? Who's going to be the loser? Only time will tell. But I'll tell you for a fact, the people who are going to suffer in America right now is the common citizen, a person who depends on that 9-to-5 job, the person who lives pay to paycheck. Those are the people who are going to suffer, because if this trade war is continuing, people will not be able to afford grocery in the supermarket. People will not be able to pay their utility bills, because prices are going to be double, triple, even 10 times of what you normally used to pay. Why? Because the supply chain has been broken down. If you don't find alternative market on where you can sell your produce, or where you can export your produce without getting those exorbitant tariffs, then yes, supply chain is going to be destroyed, and people will not be able to buy their favorite products, or they will not be able to get those favorite products in the supermarket. That's how it's going to be. Only time will tell what's going to happen next. Guys, subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much.